Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Carly was on the phone at Kelly's, assuring Bobby that everything was under control, and the waterfront regulars continued to visit. Carly admitted that the freezer had a leak and that the bread delivery had been delayed, but she had dealt with the issues. Carly promised to figure it all out, assured her mother she loved her, and stressed that she needed to get back to work. Carly set many pickup orders on the counter after the call, but she came to a halt when Nana strolled in. Nana approached the counter and inquired if Carly worked at Kelly's, to which Carly responded that she owned the business. "Good for you," Nana said. Nana turned gears and complimented Willow on her appearance. She declared that the transplant had been a success. Carly was taken aback when Nana disclosed that she had visited Willow the day before. Nana admitted to Carly that she should have waited until Willow reached out to her, but Nana disclosed that Willow had added her to the bubble of family and friends who could visit. Nana stated that she owed Carly the incredible visit because Carly had stopped her grudge against Nana. "Who says I did that?" Carly inquired. Nana claimed that she assumed Carly had buried the hatchet and left their feud behind them. But Carly wasn't interested in Nana's antics and counseled Nina to get to the point. Nana denied playing games, but she did concede that she wanted them to get along for the sake of Willow. "We're like family," Nana explained. Carly was of the opinion that family gives, but Nana had simply taken. Nina inquired, "What have I taken from you this time, Carly?" "You took my life, Nina," Carly retorted. "Now you're blaming me for owning Kelly's?" Nana questioned. Carly recognized Willow's heart had no limits, which was why Willow had allowed Nana access. Carly, on the other hand, warned Nina that the rest of the family was not as forgiving. Carly said she had suffered a setback. "But make no mistake, I will reclaim everything I lost, everything," Carly swore. Carly stormed into the kitchen, but Nana trailed her. Nana inquired, "Is that a threat?" "Perhaps, or maybe it's just my mantra," Carly speculated. Carly directed Nina to leave her kitchen and take a seat in the diner. "I lost my appetite," Nina explained before leaving. Finn discovered Portia sobbing in the doctor's break room at the hospital. He inquired if there was anything he could do, but Portia acknowledged that all that had happened to Curtis had overwhelmed her. Finn secretly got out his phone and sent a text message to Portia as she continued to cry. Meanwhile, Elizabeth visited Curtis' hospital room, but he inquired as to whether she was there as a nurse or a friend. Elizabeth mentioned that she was working, but hoped he would always consider her a friend. Curtis didn't want to disrupt Elizabeth's work, but he said he needed a favor. "I don't want anyone in my room, especially Trina and Portia," Curtis declared. Suddenly, Elizabeth's phone rang with a text message from Finn. Elizabeth entered the break room a short while later. "Oh, look, Elizabeth is here," Finn commented. Elizabeth sat opposite her friend and clasped Portia's hand in hers. "Curtis?" Elizabeth inquired. Elizabeth explained that she had just left Curtis' room when Portia nodded. Elizabeth inquired about what had happened between Portia and Curtis when Finn excused himself. "You heard him say he doesn't want anything to do with me," Portia explained. Portia stated that she had worked with patients in similar situations before, but not with Curtis. Elizabeth sympathized, recalling that Portia had been suffering with the shock of nearly losing her husband. Portia stated that it was more than that, because she couldn't deny that her marriage had been rocky before to the shooting, and Curtis had convinced himself that Portia was acting out of pity or obligation rather than love. "It just couldn't be further from the truth," Portia stated. Curtis had told Portia that he didn't want her pity, but she shoved the memory away. Portia stated that she had loved Curtis for 20 years, even when she feared she'd never see him again, and that she had taken her wedding vows seriously. Curtis, on the other hand, was trying to drive her away, and Portia was partly to blame because she had kept Trina's paternity a secret from him. Elizabeth reassured Portia that she and Curtis had come to terms with the situation, and Curtis had returned home. Portia opened her about Curtis' kiss with Jordan during their separation and how it made her mistrust Curtis. Portia revealed that she was angry because she had given Curtis time and space to work things out. But he had kissed Jordan. Elizabeth told Portia that she had every right to be upset because Curtis had kissed his ex-wife, and that being shot had not freed Curtis of all the inconsiderate and pig-headed things he had ever done. But he's still the man I love, Portia explained. Portia stated that she loved Curtis with all her heart and that she wanted to spend her life with him, wheelchair or no wheelchair. If Curtis hadn't been shot, Elizabeth wondered if Portia would still be fighting for her marriage. Portia admitted that it would have taken time for her and Curtis to work through their issues and rebuild trust, but she would have felt the same way. Both Portia and Curtis had made mistakes, according to Elizabeth, but Portia stated that nearly losing Curtis had made her understand how much she genuinely loved him. Elizabeth inquired as to what Portia intended to do about it. Curtis looked up from his cell phone in his hospital room when he heard Finn enter. Finn inquired as to what Curtis had been reading, and Curtis replied that he had been investigating spinal cord injuries. Seeing if there's any hope, Curtis explained. There's always hope, said Finn. Curtis was perplexed as to why Finn was there, given that he wasn't there on business. Finn stated that Curtis had helped him get through some difficult moments, and he wanted to repay the favor. I'm here for you, whatever you need, stated Finn. Curtis stated that he needed more room, but Finn took a seat instead. Finn understood Curtis' desire for space. But as a fellow addict in recovery, I know exactly what you're going through, Finn explained. Curtis told Finn that the doctors were aware of his addiction issues and that the pain medicine was closely managed. Finn was happy, but he was also aware that Curtis was attempting to separate himself from everyone who cared about him. Curtis claimed he was trying to sort things out and determine whether or not Portia would be involved. Finn counseled Curtis to be truthful to himself. How long before you start looking for a little relief from all the pain and anger? Finn inquired. Curtis denied that it had anything to do with addiction. This is about my pride as a man, Curtis explained. Curtis added that he didn't want Portia and Trina to be dependent on him, and that he wasn't used to being that type of man. Finn was curious as to what kind of man Curtis had in mind. Helpless, Curtis admitted. Finn contended that asking for aid did not make a person helpless, but rather wise. Finn said that bringing others in and enabling them to help was the key to both physical and spiritual improvement. Curtis grinned. Look at Dr. Finn getting all woo-woo, Curtis pointed out. Finn smiled back and requested Curtis not to tell anyone. Finn joked about adopting New Age medicine and stocking up on crystals and dream catchers. Curtis laughed at the thought, and Finn warned his friend not to turn away people who cared when Curtis needed them the most. After Finn had left, Portia stormed in and told Curtis to stop reading horror stories on his phone. She placed many booklets on Curtis' lap, explaining that they would offer him with vital information on the rehabilitation and physical therapy regimens that he would face when he returned home. Because you are coming home, Portia explained. Because they were husband and wife, Portia informed Curtis that she intended to be there every step of the journey. She told him that no matter what the odds were or what life hurled at them, they were in it together. Curtis took one of the leaflets after Portia had left. Finn discovered Elizabeth making herself a cup of coffee in the lounge. He thanked her for her assistance with Portia. Elizabeth informed him that he'd done okay without her help. But Portia needed a companion. Elizabeth hoped her buddies figured it out because they cared about each other. She shifted the subject since she was curious about Finn's whereabouts. Oh, I was just helping a friend too, Finn explained. Maxie was on the phone with Ferncliff at her apartment, while Georgie chased James across the living room because he had grabbed Georgie's tablet and refused to return it. Maxie ordered her children to sit on the sofa and not look at each other once the phone call finished. Georgie and James agreed, but both scowled. If they didn't behave, Maxie threatened to cancel their day at the pool with Mac and have them clean their room. James didn't believe it was right that he had to tidy up Georgie's books and clothes. Georgie claimed that her brother never gave her privacy. A knock on the door saved Maxie. It had to be Mac. Maxie informed her father that Bailey Lou was with the sitter, but she insisted that the kids pick up their toys before going to the pool. Mac assured her that he would take care of everything. Mac asked the youngsters whether they were ready to have fun after Maxie went. Mac was cleaning up a little time later while Georgie and James argued over the tablet. Mac attempted to refocus the youngsters, but James refused to give up the tablet. James threatened to erase all of Georgie's Harry Styles tracks when Mac pointed out that he wouldn't need the tablet at the pool. Georgie followed James inside their room. "Who's Harry Styles?" inquired Mac. Later, James threatened Georgie's social media account with deletion since she had concealed the cockpit to his favorite Lego set. Georgie, enraged, snatched the tablet, but James held strong. Mac decided to step in, but James refused to give up the iPad. The front door banged shut unexpectedly. "What on earth is going on here?" Felicia exclaimed aloud. A little while later, Mac observed Georgie and James joyfully working together as Felicia supervised her grandchildren while holding the iPad. Mac admitted that his wife had performed a miracle when the children went to put things away. He inquired as to how she had done it. "I'm magic," Felicia declared. Cody visited Sam and Dante for brunch at their apartment. He apologized for his unexpected visit and overnight stay, but he was appreciative for Sam and Dante's assistance. Cody instantly moved the subject to Sasha, warning Sam and Dante that Sasha had no idea how dangerous she was in. Sam was perplexed as to why Cody was more concerned about Sasha's health than his own. So Cody revealed that Sasha had not intended to stab him. Dante emphasized that Sasha's actions were not excused because she was disoriented, while Cody contended that something was wrong because Sasha was not insane. Dante reminded Cody that Sasha was in Ferncliff to seek assistance, but Cody was still worried. "I'm not buying it. Something else is going on here," Cody replied. After Sam had gone to see her sister, Dante invited Cody to discuss why Cody thought there was more to Sasha's collapse, especially because Sasha had a history of breakdowns. "There's a difference between being fragile and being broken," Cody explained. Cody admitted that Sasha had been shaky, but she hadn't tried to disguise it, and she was on the mend. Cody was convinced that Sasha was improving, but Dante questioned Cody's ability to assess her mental state, given that Cody had only known Sasha for 6 months. Cody talked up about how he met Sasha and how their connection had developed over time, so he had seen the progress with each encounter. Cody reminded Dante that despite the producers' attempts to ruin Sasha's previous performance on Home and Heart, Sasha kept her cool. Cody was positive that the issue was not with Sasha. "It's because of the people around her," Cody explained. Dante realized Cody was referring to CODY'S. Therefore, he inquired as to why CODY'S had sought to frame Cody. CODY'S had wanted Cody out of Sasha's life because he had told Sasha that CODY'S could not be trusted. Dante pressed Cody more, and Cody said that he had known about Gladys' decision to sell Brando's garage to Selena Wu before Sasha had. Cody tried to brush it off, but Dante was curious as to how Cody found out. Cody felt compelled to inform Dante that he had overheard Gladys and Selena conversing at the Savoy. Dante recognized there was more to the story, so Cody told him about Selena's high-stakes poker games at the Savoy, as well as Gladys, a regular who always lost large. Cody stated that the garage was a payment for Gladys' debt, and that Gladys had been draining Sasha's bank accounts to satisfy Selena's rising gambling debt. Cody revealed, much to Don's amazement, that Selena had recruited him to play cards and ensure that her customers win, but not too big. Cody informed Dante that his life was in Dante's hands since Selena had vowed to kill Cody if he notified anybody about Selena's threats. Sam arrived at Molly and TJ's flat with food and lats. Molly's foot was propped up on the sofa in a medical boot. After she thanked her sister for taking care of her, Sam inquired as to how Molly had injured her ankle. Molly admitted to missing a step while coming down the courthouse stairs because she was distracted and wearing new heels. Molly was humiliated until she learned she'd been harmed. Sam was intrigued as to what had distracted Molly, so Molly admitted that she couldn't stop thinking about what it would be like to have a baby. Molly wondered if her diagnosis was a cosmic omen that she needed to find another way to live her life. Sam told Molly that there was nothing wrong with not having children, but she counseled her to be honest with herself about how she would feel if she did not have children. Molly stated that the sensible half of her brain would be all right, but she would feel like something was missing in her heart. Sam inquired as to whether Molly had spoken with TJ. Molly assured Sam that she had, but opening up to Sam was easier. Molly acknowledged that she and TJ desired children, but it was a major decision with a lot of factors to consider. Sam mentioned that Molly and TJ Sam would be there to support her sister, and she would have plenty of time to think things out. And babysit, Sam explained. Molly grinned. Sasha awoke in Ferncliff and discovered she was confined to a hospital bed. Sasha sat up, alarmed. "Hello, can anyone hear me?" Sasha yelled loudly. A nurse practitioner eventually entered and introduced herself as Mandy. Sasha claimed that she didn't belong there, but Mandy told her that Sasha was come to seek assistance. Sasha was taken aback when Mandy announced she was in Ferncliff. Sasha couldn't figure out why she'd been sent to a criminally insane facility. She assured Mandy that an error had been made and encouraged Mandy to contact CODY'S. CODY'S walked in just as Mandy walked out. Sasha, relieved, requested for assistance, but CODY'S pretended to be concerned. CODY'S inquired, "You don't remember, do you?" Sasha's uncertainty grew as Dr. Montague entered and greeted her. "Honey, you don't remember, but you tried to kill Kobe Bell," CODY'S reminded her. Sasha was skeptical because she was not an aggressive person. CODY'S and Dr. Montague then tried to persuade Sasha that she'd been having illusions and that all her memories of doing well were a fabrication. Sasha steadfastly denied everything, so Dr. Montague requested CODY'S to leave. CODY'S stormed out after Sasha begged her to stay. Sasha insisted she wasn't hallucinating and told Dr. Montague about her recent discussion with Sunny. Dr. Montague revealed that Sasha made the pleasant memories to conceal her mental collapse. Sasha realized it was a lie. "In fact, everything was fine until I started seeing you and taking the prescription you gave me," Sasha explained. Dr. Montague reached for a syringe to calm Sasha. Dr. Montague pushed the needle into Sasha's IV despite her protests. Line. Sasha went unconscious a few moments later. Maxie approached CODY'S in the corridor and inquired about visiting Sasha. CODY'S stated that Sasha was in poor health and that the doctor had forbidden visits. Maxie was convinced that seeing a buddy would help, but CODY'S emphasized that Sasha was hallucinating and had no recollection of stabbing Cody. CODY'S pretended to cry as a result of the tragic scenario. Maxie grudgingly agreed to meet her for coffee when she suggested it. Thanks for watching if you liked this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.